The decision by Belarus to designate Euronews as extremist is an act of revenge for honest reporting, opposition leader Svetlana Tsikhanouskaya said on Friday. In an exclusive interview with Euronews, Tsikhanouskaya said the move showed that Alexander Lukashenko's government remained afraid of independent information.
It is revenge by the regime for Euronews reporting. Euronews covered the 2020 protests and it covered the election, which Lukashenko lost. It covered the stories of political prisoners and the war, which started from Belarus. The regime didn't like this, and dictators like if everyone is silent and no one knows the truth. But the hypocrisy is that Lukashenko himself gave an interview to Euronews before, and now even watching them can be considered as a crime in Belarus.
Tsikhanouskaya said that despite the ban, Belarusians will continue to look for independent information.
Independent media are at the backbone of our movement. Thanks to them, we can influence the situation on the ground. Thanks to them, most Belarusians know what is really happening in Ukraine, and the majority stand with Ukraine. Media, social networks and tech tools help us stay connected and create safe spaces.
She advised people in Belarus to make digital security a priority, including by using VPNs, keeping separate devices for accessing independent media, and avoiding contact with unknown accounts that could be linked to security services.
You know, difficult conditions force us to be creative. That is the only way to survive under dictatorship. We Belarusians now have a unique experience that can help other captive nations that find themselves in similar situations.
Above all, Tsikhanouskaya said the extremist designation should not deter Euronews from continuing its work.
Watching Euronews or reading the Euronews website can land you in jail. Sharing Euronews news can become a crime, and it gives the KGB another excuse to prosecute people who are simply looking for information. Of course, those who work with Euronews or help with information are also at risk. The regime's goal is to stop Euronews from delivering honest information inside Belarus. But on the other hand, Euronews can take this designation as a badge of honor, because many decent people and organizations have been declared extremist by the dictator. It means your work matters.
Spanish police said they have dismantled one of the largest networks smuggling drugs and migrants across the Mediterranean. The operation, which was carried out with the support of Europol, resulted in 78 arrests, 77 of which were made in Spain and 1 in Algeria. Among those arrested were 4 alleged leaders of the organization. Police also confiscated 18 high-speed boats. Authorities said in a statement that the network likely used the vessels to transport drugs from Spain to Algeria, and on the journey back they'd smuggle migrants to Spain's Mediterranean coast and the island of Ibiza. The network charged up to €12,000 per person transported. Some operations involved as many as 50 migrants per crossing, police said. The profits generated by the group are estimated to exceed €24 million. Most irregular migration to Spain by sea takes place along the Atlantic route from West Africa to the Canary Islands. This is one of the main entry points to Europe for people fleeing conflict, persecution, and poverty.
A federal appeals court has ordered the Trump administration to hold all construction of its $400 million White House ballroom until it receives congressional approval. In a 2-1 decision, the court sided with historic preservationists who sued to stop construction of the massive structure, which has begun to rise above ground on the east side of the White House. The 8,400 square meter ballroom is being constructed where the White House's historic East Wing stood before Trump ordered its demolition last fall. The court said it would stay its ruling for 2 weeks to give the administration time to appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. U.S. President Donald Trump lashed out after the ruling, calling it horrendous, politically motivated, and unlawful, and vowed to appeal the decision. Several of Trump's construction projects, including a proposed 76-meter-tall triumphal arch, have similarly faced legal challenges, but the ballroom project would be the first to reach the Supreme Court.